than 1,000 miles away, in northern England, another mummy is also giving up secrets from its past. Groundbreaking research at the University of Manchester may help solve the mystery of the curse and identify what killed Carnarvon. D. Miller's work in Egypt has already proved that sealed tombs can harbor molds. But are they toxic? And what about the mummies themselves? Using a long-lighted pincer device, scientists are collecting pure tissue samples from more than a dozen Egyptian mummies. They'll find out exactly what kind of microorganisms survive inside ancient corpses and how dangerous they might be.
With this mummy, our particular focus is to look for spores and molds.
If the tissue contains deadly molds, it could help build the case that a newly opened tomb might have threatened someone like Carnarvon. A look at the results reveals a potential culprit. It's toxic mold. Two dangerous species, known as Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus flavus. They can release something called mycotoxins and can trigger allergic reactions, anything from simple congestion to bleeding in the lungs. A high concentration of this mold could be especially serious to someone with a weak immune system.
One possible explanation, I suppose, for the curse of the Pharaoh could be this. I mean, a scientific explanation.
Of course it could.
Yeah.
Of course it could.
Yeah.
It's now clear that at least one thing in ancient tombs, mummies, can carry toxins. We also know that some sealed tombs contain molds that may be dangerous. The next step is to figure out whether the air itself could pose a risk. The answer may lie 50 miles south of Cairo, in the shadow of the very first pyramid. Here, in Saqqara, in an ancient royal cemetery, the investigators have gotten word of a freshly opened tomb that's even older than Tut's. Down a deep shaft, carved into the rock beneath the sand, a giant hall, almost 14 meters long, is stacked with mummies. In a neighboring chamber, they find a sealed sarcophagus. No one's ever had a chance like this before. If the air in the coffin is untouched by modern contaminants, it could be a match for the atmosphere in Tut's tomb. This experiment is a scientific first. A vacuum sampler will draw ancient air and any airborne particles right out of the stone box. Inside, the swirling gases from a decaying mummy, left to incubate for 20 centuries. Keeping the seal intact, they begin sucking out a 2,000-year-old air sample. This procedure isn't in the textbooks. No one's ever tried it. But the results could give us a hint about what was in the air when Carnarvon and Carter opened Tut's tomb. When Carter pulled out that first blocking stone, did he release a deadly rush of microbes that would kill his friend?